Hello, and a very warm welcome to another interesting edition of Lifelines with Mima. Thank you for joining us today. Today, we're dealing with a very, very emotional topic for me. Of course, you know, we're young today, but tomorrow we shall all grow old. How do we treat the older ones? What do we do to make sure that they are okay? Culturally and traditionally, we, the young ones, should be responsible for our parents. For that reason, we're going to be treating this particular issue today. It promises to be an interesting edition. You don't want to go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Lifelines with Mima. Today, we'll be looking into a subject that concerns our elderly. It's all about pensions, retirement today. I have a really pathetic story here, and I'd like you to meet our clients for the day. This is Mrs. Abigail, and this is Mommy Beatrice. You're both welcome.
Thank you so much, Mima. It's my pleasure.
Welcome. And so Mrs. Abigail brought Mommy in a few days ago with certain complaints about how her children or her son and the wife is maltreating Mama. So let's get to know them and get to the bottom of what the issues are. So tell me, what's happening here? What's the problem?
Thank you very much, Mima. Mama here is dying slowly. She is going through a whole lot in the hands of her son.
I see.
Yeah. I have taken my time to observe her, and that is why I decided to bring her here to you today.
Can't see.
In fact,
Mama.
I had to arrange her coming here specially.
My daughter, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
It's painful. I'm happy to be here. I can't remember everything. I'm happy to be outside. I'm free. I'm free. But one thing, I am not happy.
I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But Mama, I know it's not easy, and you know you've been through a lot. But why does your son lock you up inside? Why?
I can't remember everything. Can't remember. But one thing I know is that I'm not strong again like before. I am sick. But my son loves me.
I know.
I love my son.
Mima, Mama's problems has a lot to do with her retirement benefits.
I see.
I normally attend to her when her son and his wife goes out of the house. They even starve her at times.
And they leave her alone.
I'm telling you. The only problem is that sometimes she has on and off dementia.
I see.
Which we all know comes with old age at times, you know?
It does. This is strange. But we shall see to the end of it. Let's invite Mama's son and hear from him. Find out what's really going on. There's more after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Lifelines with Mima. And we're treating the subject of senior citizens today. We now have with us Mr. Ralph, Mama Beatrice's son. We have Mama Beatrice and also Mrs. Abigail that brought Mama to us. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mina.
Welcome.
I'm a big fan of your program, and I was honored when you invited me over.
I saw that you were surprised. This is your mom, right? Just to confirm.
Honestly, I can't tell you how worried and obsessed I have been. We've been looking for her since morning, And I'm surprised she's here.
Okay, well, Mrs. Abigail here brought her to us. And frankly, we are grateful that she did. But let me ask you, what is wrong with her? What's wrong with Mama?
Mima, my mom's case needs spiritual attention.
I see.
I think that's all I can say. A lot of prophecies has been laid against her that she's having a connection with witchcraft.
Wow.
She's currently paying for her sins. And that's why sometimes she forgets things so easily.
It's okay.
Oh.
Wow. So that's why you maltreat her? You lock her up for days? You don't give her food? Why? Witchcraft? What kind of witchcraft?
I don't lock her up as punishment. Just that I was always careful and to protect her from people's brutality, you know, when they hear witchcraft. Because my pastor came over and announced to us that she's a witch in the compound. My wife and I don't stab her, Mima. We don't. Because sometimes we decide to fast and pray, you know. And she's also advised to do so for her freedom and liberation.
You are a pretender. Look, sir, let me tell you something. What you're doing to Mama is very wrong. You don't even know what you're doing. Mama's heartbreak and frustration is as a result of neglect by the federal government after 35 years in service. Both your parents were civil servants. Your mother dedicated all her life to this job. And you, as the only child of your parents, ought to take care of Mama. Unfortunately, your dad was caught up in an ailment during your NYSC days. As a result of that, both your parents went bankrupt. They could not get access to any loan. And Papa went ahead to die because there was no money. Mama kept blaming herself for this. She said she was incapable of taking care of her father when he was sick, and as a result of that, he died. That was when Mama's suffering began.
Sorry, Ma. How do you know all this?
If only you had given her a little bit of care and attention, maybe you would have known what she was going through. Mama is alive here today because of the companionship she has gotten from us.
It's really sad and pathetic. Anyway, there's more after this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Lifelines with Mima. After due deliberations and consultations, I thought it wise to invite a pensions administrator to come and explain this important subject to us. I now have with us Mr. Godwin Olubio. You're very welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me, Mima.
Thank you for coming. Okay, Mr. Ralph, very quickly before we continue, I just wanted you to know that we're not trying to put you on the spot or make you look bad or anything like that. We're just trying to get to the bottom of it because there's so many people that may be in Mama's shoes that will need an explanation. Okay?
Mima, I feel so ashamed of myself. I was acting out of ignorance. I don't even only lock her up. I shout at her sometimes.
I know you went too far, but why? Why?
I think I have wronged the heavens and the earth. Yeah.
Listen to me, son. The only thing you need to do is to make Mama feel loved. Let her enjoy the fruits of her labor. You just need to show her a little bit care and attention. You know she's aged now and she cannot fight for her pension by herself. At the end of the day, it still belongs to you.
Mima, this issue of pensions benefits has made me lost hope in this nation. I've lost it all. I think I'll go with what Mrs. Abigail just said. Thank you so much for your concern. I promise I'll take care of my mother and make her proud, with or without the pension.
Okay. But there's still the issue of her pension and retirement benefits. Thank God Mr. Godwin is here. Where do we go from here?
Ma, I wouldn't want to talk about all that. My dad died and they denied us the benefits. And now my mom has retired and she has also been denied of her benefits since after her retirement. I really don't want to sound like an unpatriotic citizen.
That's okay. We have Mr. Godwin, so let's let him shed some light on this matter. Please go ahead, sir.
Sorry, my brother. Oh, please put yourself together. Mama, sorry that you have to go through this pain. I quite empathize with you. But really, nobody, no retiree should go through this rigor.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry that all this is happening. Even your dad died without eating from what he labored for all these years.
Yeah.
It's quite painful.
It is.
Having said that, let's look at the nitty-gritty of pensions. Before the Pension Reform Act 204, now revised in 2014, Nigeria operated what is called the defined benefit, whereby pension is not, the provision for pension is not budgeted. That's what we call the defined benefit.
Okay.
Then from 204, we have what is called the RSA, Contributory Pension Scheme,
Okay.
CPS.
Okay.
Now, let me explain what the defined benefit is. The people that worked between, before 204 belong to defined benefit. And I believe that's what Daddy belonged to.
Yeah.
So those that belong to that quadrant are now being handled by PTAD, Pension Transition Arrangement Directorate. I believe their head office is at Maitama. So you have to get in touch with them. And I believe Daddy died in a state. That is, he died without
A will.
a will. So those that died without a will, Milma, have to approach the probate
Okay.
and get what is called LA, Letter of Administration.
Okay. Okay.
So you put together all his documents and approach PTAD. So they will go through all the files and processes. And whatever is due to him, I assure you, will be paid to him. So that's that for Daddy.
Okay.
So let's come to Mommy here. We thank God for gift of life. She's still alive. So my brother, Mommy can still eat the fruit of her labor. So, Mommy, I believe during your work life, you registered with a pension fund administrator.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and there are about 23 of them, out of which you were to choose one.
Yes, sir.
Good. So, and you were given a certificate when you registered. Beautiful. So that certificate also contains your name, your passport, your date of birth, your PIN number. PIN number is personal identification number. All of that are captured in your certificate. Bravo. So, you will approach your PFA together with your son.
My son.
Exactly.
My son will take me.
Exactly. You know where their office is?
I don't know.
Okay.
My son will know.
Okay, don't worry. They are all on the web page, so we can always check where the office nearest to you can be located.
Okay. So they have offices across the country?
Across the country.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And the document they require from you are not so difficult to get. 2 passports, a verifiable bank account, because they won't give you a check or pay you by cash. The transfer will be made directly into her account that was provided and confirmed by the pension administrator. Your first letter of appointment. Then, mommy also have some pension in the old pension scheme, which I earlier explained, because she is caught up in between
the new and the
old.
I see.
So the whole of that money will be calculated. And that's why we are submitting the whole of those documents from the first day you were employed, your first letter of appointment, and some specific pay slips. And everything is calculated and paid into your retirement savings account.
Okay.
So, in fact, before they do all those calculations, they will carry out what is called a reconciliation to ensure that no dime, no 1 kobo is left unpaid. In fact, they will pay with an interest because pension fund is not an idle fund. We invest across different approved instruments to ensure that
the money grows.
Exactly. You know, the savings is over 35 years of service.
Yeah. In other words, you are saying that it's still possible for Mama to process and get her benefits.
Very well.
And you can facilitate this for her? You can help out?
If the opportunity is given to me, why not? I'm very available to help you in whatever dimension you want me to offer.
Help me.
Okay.
Mama. Help me.
That's
really appreciate that.
Help me.
So,
really appreciate that. Okay, so, you know, at least we've gotten an idea of, you know, how this works. And, you know, sometimes it is. But you see, even when we do all that, you still have some people that are not paid, or like you see them on the road, you see them with placards, you see them asking for their benefits. So at what point does the government come in here, and why is it so?
Okay, agreeably, you know, I'm sorry, that's not supposed to be really. You know, sometimes also government is constrained by availability of money to pay.
Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes they have to be a little patient for government to be able to make money available
for disbursement.
to pay for disbursements to happen. And sometimes, you know, some of this money are into 1 or 2 instruments, so they have to liquidate those instruments and make it liquid for them to be able to pay. And sometimes, you know, in essence, what brought about the contributory pension scheme was a scene like this, because government then was owing pension, was indebted for about, I think, 3 trillion in valuation, yes.
Wow.
So, and it became obvious that the defined benefit was not sustainable.
Okay.
So, and the conception for contributory pension scheme came about. It's a situation by you have your money real time. You're not waiting for any budgetary allocation to be available or not. You're having, yes, as you're earning your salary,
it's being
remitted into your retirement savings account.
Okay.
And concurrently, it's being invested also.
Okay.
I also have to add at this juncture that the contributory pension scheme also make available what is called AVC, Additional Voluntary Contribution, whereby, sorry, Mama, whereby you can say, okay, apart from the mandatory contribution, I want to set aside some portion of the salary that's meant for me. I want to put it out there into pension voluntarily. That is why it's called voluntary contribution. So that do not have to wait for any approval. At retirement, I can get the money while I'm waiting for the other approval
to come.
Exactly, to come.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So we have a better understanding now. So, would you have any final advice for the young ones out there? We have a few minutes left.
Yes.
Yes, final advice
Thank
for
you, Mima.
the young ones out there.
My advice is this. You don't plan for pension at retirement.
Yes.
From the first day you enter into any job, number one, you open a pension account so that you start saving. Secondly, I want to also advise our young ones out there, if you have a retiree or maybe not necessarily your parent, please try and also lend out to help. And also want to speak to retirees. Don't lock up your documents in a vault where nobody can access. Because we see people retire, they are incapacitated and nobody can reach out. You don't know what your health status will be at retirement. So all these are very important. And also, lastly, I want to add, don't only depend on pension money. There are different kind of investments you can make. This also come in terms of financial planning.
Yes.
Have different kind of plans out there that you can always have a continuous cash flow, and that will help you even at retirement.
Thank you so
for
much.
this opportunity, Mima.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so I think we have better understanding now. I'm happy that he's going to also help you pursue that of your dad and also that of your mom. Given the situation now, I think the first thing we need to do for Mama is to take her to the hospital. I can take her to my hospital, Medimax Hospital, where she would be paired up with the consultant physician who would start up with comprehensive tests and begin to manage a dementia or any other health challenges that she may have. And pending when her benefits are liquidated or disbursed, I will fund all of her treatments until then. Okay? So let's take care of Mama.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then I'm also going to assign a nurse, from one of my nurses to come and check on her at home regularly. Make sure that she's getting her medications. Make sure she's eating well and doing.
Thank you, my daughter. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My son.
You're welcome.
My son, I love you.
Aww.
I love you, my son.
And Mr. Ralph, I need to talk to you. I mean, there's really no excuse to treat any of your parents this way. Any pastor that tells you your father or your mother is a witch, I don't know what they're trying to do. Because every man of God should be looking into how to bring families together, not to divide them, okay? So even if she's a witch, if he is a man of God, he's supposed to remove the witchcraft from inside of her. Okay, so him or whoever it is placing this as a barrier between you and your mother, is actually just generating curses for you as a son. So as much as possible, and then even for your wife, I think I need to see you guys. We need to do a bit of family therapy to get healing and forgiveness, okay? Much as possible, your wife should also know that this is your mother. I mean, the basic things like just food should be given to her, and she doesn't need to be locked up, okay? I know if you have to work, it's simple. Just get a help that will stay with her when you're away, that can take care of her. And worst case scenario is not in our culture, and we don't encourage it because we are Africans and we look after our older ones, right? But if it is so bad that you cannot care for her, then it's okay to take her to an old people's home where they would care for her, okay? So please, let's work on this. Let's make sure that this does not happen again. For Mrs. Abigail, I am truly grateful. And this is the culture and traditions that we need to encourage. I mean, you didn't lock up your door and say, no, consign me, oh, it's not my business, oh, like we often do these days. In Africa, we live as a community, as a family. All of us take care of our young and our old. For that reason, it doesn't have to be your mother or your father before you care for them. And so God bless you. We really appreciate your efforts. Mama, don't worry. You have a new daughter now. You're going to be fine. There you have it. At the end of the day, what matters is the way forward, right? Yes. It's necessary that we know that tomorrow will come. We cannot avoid old age. We pray to live it long, but we don't plan for our old age. For that reason, it's necessary that we plan early. We stop waiting until tomorrow. We start planning today.